I was
20
like,
more
hold on.
days. 20 more days.
I can do this, PJ. Just 20 more days. I can do this.
20 more.
Endless joy. Yes, B. Edwards Bill. Yes.
Endless joy.
Endless
Endless
joy.
Oh my God. So introduce yourself, Lesters.
Greetings. My name is PJ.
I'm Kristen.
And we're the Lesters.
Grand Rising.
Grand
Good morning.
Rising.
We're laughing because we thought we were live. And we're like, wait a second, we're not live.
We're not live yet.
Yes, we're spiritual digital nomads, travel navigators with soul excursions. And Reverend Valerie Love. What does digital nomad mean? We just hop all over the world. I say just. It's really a huge blessing and undertaking. That's where I've been here. So it's a huge undertaking. And how many countries have you been to in this year?
7 countries in 4 months. Going to Greece on Tuesday.
Yes.
Yes.
Countdown to Greece. Oh, I have the blue on. I didn't even think about that. It's not the Greece blue, though. It's not Greece blue.
But it's close.
It's close.
Oh, it's close to it. Oh, my goodness. Yes, they'll let you in even if you don't have the color. They'll still let you in. Yay. It's so freaking amazing. Do you know what Ariel said? Ariel is the publisher that is doing the book Witch, the publisher behind the book Witch. She said that's her soul home. Like Bali is my soul home. She said Greece is her soul home.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. It's pretty incredible, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh my goodness. Are you all ready or?
We're ready. We've been ready.
Yes. You know, when I say yes, there was a moment and I'm like, how, Sway? You know, even after all of the journeys we've been on, and we've been to other countries prior to this year, it's so funny. I'm like, what is this little fear of mine? Maybe we should just not go. Maybe. I'm like,
yep, that's normal.
Get out of here, ego.
That's Here comes your dragon, right? Standing in front of the cave that has grease in it, breathing fire. It's just the resistance. That's all.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's
just keep walking toward that dragon and then just get on its back and ride. That's how you know where to go, by the thing that has the resistance and the fear. Mm-hmm. And the highest fear, then that's the thing you just absolutely have to do. Yeah, straight to it.
Yes.
So becoming a dragon rider. I love that.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Y'all are just grinning like y'all are already in Greece. I can't wait till we do this live stream and y'all are coming to us from Greece. I cannot wait for that.
Yes.
Yes, that's gonna be a great experience.
Oh yes, it's gonna be wonderful. We were trying to I'm like, maybe we'll be on the ferry. Well, we were like, we don't know. We'll figure it out.
Who knows? Who cares? I am entitled to miracles. Yes. We know one thing. We know that you'll have plenty of miracles on the way.
Oh, yes.
Right? Plenty of miracles. All right. Let's have a deep breath. It is Sunday as we have this conversation. Day 345. Only 20 more days remaining in this 365-day marathon, a journey of the soul, in which we have all decided to come together for an entire year, every single day, to learn truth, remember who we are, become love, release fear, release guilt, release shame, release any and all that is not our highest divine nature. We come together, Great Spirit, expecting miracles, expecting transformation in the areas of our lives which we need it most. expecting God news in our lives. We promise to let go. We promise to trust the universe. We promise to breathe deeply. We promise to adhere as best we can in every moment to endless joy and perfect peace and pure love. We promise to be a light for humanity. We promise to speak truth and to share truth and to stand on truth and to operate our lives as best we can according to truth. We promise to be a blessing, to be generous, to love with an uncommon love, the God love. We promise to live that God life, though. Hallelujah. Amen. So mote it be. Amen. This morning was coming to me of how much I attempted to not experience the blessings of the universe because of the money story. That's what came to me this morning. And once you throw out that story, it's one of the best things you can do in your life is throw out the I don't have money for that. Throw out the money story. Throw it in the trash. We see powerful souls use the money story to keep themselves in a prison of one's own making. No more. No more. That was something that came to me this morning. Are we ready, Lusters and family? Are we ready?
We are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready. Let's see what club the course is going to use to beat us over the head with today. 3:45. Like prepare to be amazed. I only offer miracles today, for I would have them be returned to me. I only offer miracles today, but I would have them be returned to me. I only offer miracles today, but I would have them be returned to me. Father, a miracle reflects your gifts to me, your son, your child, mother, father, God, spirit, great spirit, infinite spirit, the great invisible spirit, Wankantanka, Jehovah, Jah, Allah, Krishna, Buddha, Lord Christ, Kuan Yin, whomever you call God, the all, infinite intelligence, source. A miracle reflects your gifts to me, your child. And everyone I give returns to me, reminding me the law of love is universal. The law of love is universal. The law of love is universal. Even here, it takes a form which can be recognized and seen to work. The miracles I give are given back in just the form I need to help me with the problems I perceive.
That part.
That part.
What
Right.
did you hear? I want to jump up and run around right now. What did you hear?
I'm going to read it one more time. The miracles I give are given back in just the form I need to help the problems I perceive. I'm hearing, excuse me, one, the universe knows the right dose to give you, the right prescription to give you,
the right time to give it to you,
to heal you from your own sickness that you created. There's nothing attacking you or me. I'm going to talk about myself. There's nothing attacking me except my own mind and what I perceive. So, okay,
I'm creating
Kristen.
illusions in my head while the spirit is giving me this dose of a miracle at the right time
Oh man.
Ashe.
Mm. Ashe.
Well, the course just pimp slapped the ego because it said the problems I perceive. You ain't got no problems. You think you do. You ain't got no problems. It said
Oh,
to help me with the problems I perceive. It's a perception. Like Mr. Lester said, it's an illusion. I made up an illusion and I'm beating myself with it. And God said, let me help them. It's not even a real problem.
I'm laughing because I can hear it's like, oh, come on, baby. They're there. It's okay.
Oh,
Come on,
oh,
it's all right.
you need some miracles. You need some miracles. Heaven is like, what is heaven doing when we're down here doing all these crazy things and they can read all our minds and all our thoughts? Like, what are the ancestors doing and the spirit guides and the angels?
It's like, y'all are so powerful and you don't even see it. You're the one creating your limitation. Okay. All right,
That's what
here,
I
let's
see.
throw in the Blue Jay. Let's throw in this so you can see. Let's throw in this line, of Course of Miracles. Maybe it'll wake you up.
777 222.
Start seeing all the angel numbers.
Them angels that do the numbers, they're so busy. They're like 222, 222, 222, 444, 444. Like they're doing it for the whole planet. Like, in a human perspective, you would think they're super
Yeah.
busy. White feathers, pennies in front of you. Hello, you getting anything yet? Are you remembering anything about your divine nature? I think I'm supposed to be doing something great, but I can't stop being at this job where they just have me pushing papers all day. Because I have to survive. I need money to survive. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Father, in heaven it is different, for there are no needs.
Mm. Mm.
There are no needs.
No needs.
This is why this morning I had that thought about, and whenever I have a thought like that about how I use the money story to keep myself in captivity, it helps me be more committed to helping other people break that story sooner, faster, just smash it to smithereens because of this line. There are no needs. Heaven is different because in heaven, there are no needs. You don't need anything. But here on earth, the miracle is closer to your gifts than any other gift that I can give. Then let me give this gift alone today, which, born of true forgiveness, we remember that miracles, forgiveness, and love are all, and truth are all, of course, love and truth are all together. Then let me give this gift alone today, which, born of true forgiveness, lights the way that I must travel to remember you. So you cannot get the light on your path to find your way home to God, to find your way out of the problems that I'm perceiving. We can't do that without forgiveness, true forgiveness. Forgiveness is dropping my bullshit story. Remember, the Course has a different definition for everything than what we've been told other places. It has a different definition. Right? Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm agreeing. I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here like, tap, 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 tap. That's how I feel. And what's coming to mind is the Lord's Prayer, like, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And that's the whole purpose of this course, is to bring us back so we can remember. And what's the way to that is born of true forgiveness.
True forgiveness. True forgiveness is not, I forgive you, but I'm still so messed up from what you did to me. But I forgive you. That's not true forgiveness. True forgiveness is dropping the bullshit story that something is a problem for you because of something that happened in your life. There was an event, your body moved through an event, your spirit self was completely untouched. Your body moved through an event, your spirit self was completely untouched. Because we think the body is our identity, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. We said it probably 1,000 times this year during those series of lessons, right? I'm the body section of the course, right? During the body lessons, I'm not a body. I'm not a body. I'm not a body. I'm not a body. I'm free, for I'm still as God created me. We thought we were a body, so we are more identified with a little tiny self that had some kind of collision with another body. That's not saying that that other body is off the hook. They have karma. They have what they must deal with. Yeah, you cannot get into their lane and tell them what to do, what to think, and how sorry to be for what they did. These are all events. And so now I get to come into the course 365 days, and I wonder how many times the word forgive is in just the workbook part. Remember, we haven't even gotten into the deep part of the course. I hope y'all know that. You haven't even gotten into the text. This is the workbook for students. You start reading the text. I think you told me, Kristen, that you had started reading the text. Had you?
Yeah, I think I made it to like chapter 4. And it's not something you can just like, even this, we kind of like read through and we pause. Even this causes us to pause. As much as we pause and have to like, okay, let me digest this. The text, it took me, I think, a week to just get through like chapter 2. Because it's like, hold on a second. Hold on. Run that back. And I'm still marinating on what I've most recently read. So it's not something you can just rush through. We've had however many years in this body that we've been on Earth, and it's a lot of unprogramming. A whole lot of recoding, rewiring in the brain that's going on. And it's not going to happen overnight. Yeah. I see why you said you've been in A Course in Miracles for over 10 years.
And Dr. G, Lester.
Oh, I didn't say. Oh, you said something.
No, I was agreeing.
And Dr. G was submitted her introduction for A Course in Miracles for our books that we're writing for A Course in Miracles. It's so beautiful. And she said that she's been reading it 13, 14 times. And every time she reads it, she's different. The course is different and she's different. And it's just the effectiveness doesn't go away. That's the reason I still read the course, because it's still like, it still does that, just like the Bible. I read books like that over and over and over. I don't read it every year because people say, oh, you should read it, it's good. Now, we had to read it when we were in school. It was required. We had to have it in our daily spiritual practice. When I was in my preparation and ordination consecration to walk in humility and love as a minister of spiritual consciousness, we had to read it every day. Had to. And before that, I read it when I felt like it. Or I read one lesson and then I would just walk around for a week. I couldn't do it every day. I could not. My consciousness wasn't even there. Do you know the level of receptivity and willingness you would have to be in to actually be able to do the course every day?
An extremely high level.
Very.
Before the live stream started, I was telling you and Peach, I'm like, Rev has been doing this all year. This is no small feat, people. This is no small feat. And it's one thing, we've been on the audience side in the chat and on Clubhouse, but to show up every day here, camera ready, like live, no matter where in the world, mind you, right now you're in Mexico, but like no matter where in the world, all year for 345 days.
And we got 20 more days to go.
That's some spiritual badassery. And it's knowing, I see what you mean now. It's something powering you beyond you.
Yes,
That
it is.
almost brings me to tears. It's something powering you beyond you. And what it's showing me is that, hey, the same power that's working in what you see as Reverend Val is really yourself, and tap into it. You can tap into the God power too, to have miracles in your life.
If not for the grace of God, the grace of God did 345 days. Let's be for real.
Yeah.
Because my human self would have took me out on day 29. It would have tried again on day 77. It would have tried again on day 91. The grace of God. And it happened in the year 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Because 222, we were ready. You know, we started the course last year. Harmony can tell you. We started the course last year. We were on Monday through Friday. And somewhere around April, May, I was like, It wasn't it. It wasn't. It wasn't doing it. It wasn't this. It wasn't this. I was like, no, we're not going to do this. 2022. Okay, let's get back on the horse again. 2020. And it didn't mean that because I wasn't doing the course live that I wasn't reading the course. I read the course all the time. All the time. All the time. It's just one of my favorite books to read all the time, just like the Bible. To read every single line in the workbook for students every single day. Last year we took weekends off. I knew go straight through weekends at the same time. Build a level of consistency and proof to yourself that the God power can do things that you cannot even fathom. I read a quote yesterday on YouTube. It said, you don't get rewarded for things that you do, what's the word? Intermittently, like whenever you feel like it. You get rewarded for what you do consistently. I don't get rewarded with the body I want if I do yoga whenever I feel like it. I'm rewarded with the body I want when I get on my yoga mat Monday through Friday every day. We all know this. You're not rewarded with muscles when you're like, oh yeah, let me go to the gym. But I'm going to stay in there for 7 hours and I'm going to pump, pump, pump. That's going to make up for the 7 days that I wasn't here. No,
Nope, it won't.
Here is our thought for the day. That was our prayer. Here's our thought for the day. Peace
wait.
to. Oh yes.
We got to go back up to 6. We stopped at 6.
Thank you. But here,
Read it again.
but here on earth, the miracle is closer to your gifts than any other gift that I can give. Then let me give this gift alone today, which, born of true forgiveness, lights the way that I must travel to remember you. See, whenever Spirit tells me to read something again, I just read it again because I need it. The miracle is born of true forgiveness. And true forgiveness is, according to the course, we didn't complete that thought. Thank you so much, Mr. Lester. What is forgiveness? It bears repeating so that we remember what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is not what we were taught in the course. Forgiveness is not what we were taught. I go to someone, I say, I'm sorry, and they say, I forgive you. We have been made to think forgiveness is an interchange between people. It's not. Forgiveness is a wholly internal process. I'm going to say that again.
Yeah, I was like, that
Can't
needs
run by
repeating.
Isn't that what we were taught? That forgiveness only happens in some kind of interchange. You need other people to do forgiveness.
External.
Yeah.
It's external. Go say I'm sorry. Started when we were children. You say I'm sorry, you ask for forgiveness, and then you wait for that person to say, I forgive you. That's not forgiveness.
That's not.
No,
That's
it's
what
not.
we set up in our consciousness, and we believe that shit. And the only reason they set it up in our consciousness was not because they didn't love us, it's because that's what they believed. They were in error, and they were requiring correction. And so they passed on things that were error beliefs. Many error beliefs are being passed on in the mass consciousness of humanity. They're error beliefs. They require correction. A miracle is a correction. It's a change in your perception. Opening the door. The door has been opened to your miracles when you forgive. You forgive because of love. Forgiveness helps you see the truth. Oh, wow. The truth is somebody didn't do something to me. You have a change in perception. That's a miracle. Correction. Something changed. Oh, that's a miracle. In that sense, we have miracles all the time. We have miracles all day, every day. The Course calls forgiveness. Let's go to it. Let's go to it. Because there is a line that we want to read that is exactly what it is. I want to go to exactly what it is. Right here.
Ooh, yes, I remember this one. Whew. Forgiveness recognizes what you thought your brother did to you has not occurred. I'm sorry, that line right there. It does not pardon sins and make them real. It sees there was no sin, and that in that view, all your sins are forgiven. What is sin except a false idea about God's Son? Forgiveness merely sees its falsity and therefore lets it go. What then is free to take its place is now the will of God.
Boom. You made the whole thing up. It has not occurred.
Pardon sins to make them real.
I forgive your sin. No.
No.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Yeah, I forgive you. And we feel somehow exonerated and justified. Better than like, I'm the bigger person. I can forgive you. Now just don't do it again. And then we have them on some kind of little silent, invisible leash. But if you do it, don't we?
And the Course is like, let's remind y'all again.
Because we still don't know what forgiveness is. We don't know what it is.
Yeah.
When I was writing the book, God is in Love with You, which is not a book that I talk about a lot, and I don't sell it on my website, even though I could, and I'll probably come out with an edition, like a 20-year edition in the next few years or so, or something like that. When I first wrote the book, God is in Love with You, and there's a whole chapter in there on forgiveness. And as I was writing about forgiveness, it said to me as I was writing that humans do not know how to forgive. And when I was having these deep meditative experiences, and Lord Arcturus appeared to me in my bedroom, it was insane. I still have the book. Do I have the book with me? I don't have the book right next to me. And I wrote a book about it, and then I took the book. I still have the manuscript. I still have the book, of course. I took the book offline so that I could redo it again, because this book is just so astounding. Lord Arcturus. And Lord Arcturus said that we don't know how to forgive because it's not within the capacity of a human to forgive. So what happens is you must call on higher sources. You must call on to forgive. You have to do it, because if you stay in your lower mind literally cannot let it. It doesn't have the capacity to let it go. And with no supernatural help, like the spirit of source moving through you to encourage you gently to let that story go. Like you, like, in other words, you can't think your way to forgiveness.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the more you think about it, the more you're going to see that there was a wrong done to you. Now, here's what helped me with forgiveness tremendously. When I think of all the quote unquote wrongs, quote unquote, that seemingly were done to me, I looked at all of them. Didn't all of them turn out to be for your good somehow? It made you stronger, faster, better, wiser. All of them.
Hmm.
Even if we can't see it, they made you better. They were a gift. And when you start to see that there was nothing wrong, you say, oh, well, what am I forgiving? Precisely. Now, all that comes forward is the will of God. The will, capital W, of God. The will of God that makes it possible for us to be together every day for 365 days, because we've forgiven enough that we can be in the will of God. Is that profound?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
The other thing that's coming to me is actually the lesson we did. I think it was yesterday, because we started talking about all the stuff. And stuff doesn't have to be physical things. It can be this emotional buildup, all these false perceptions. And it's like and we're storing in a place that, like, it's not there. Like, you can't take anything with you in this place. And what's happening for me is when I recognize this, now miracles, the will of God can happen.
Mm.
So yesterday we talked about physical stuff, but it's not just the physical. We didn't talk just about physical, but it's coming to me now again. It's also all of the other things that we're holding on to that are false. These perceptions, these illusions, as PJ said.
And they're heavy.
Very.
Very. I look at it as like as a weight of something that you were trying to let go, and then when you finally let it go, it's like a weight that just came off of you. And it's like, oh my gosh, this whole time I was just having this on me the whole time. Never knew that if I just let it go, I would feel so much lighter. Like, not only is the weight, it's just like your spirit feels more
Mhm,
lively.
mhm. Your
Mm,
spirit is free to fly, not bogged down. Like Mother Maya said, the quickest way to fly is to cut loose of all the shit that holds you down. If we have an issue being in the will, W will, capital will of God, we're not flowing with the spirit, it's likely because we're not forgiving. There's some things that we still see as sins. Our brother did something wrong, and my forgiveness is a patch over what they did. So we have a blackboard, and the blackboard has, my brother sinned against me. This is what he did to me. My sister did this to me. They did that to me. And you have it all written out on your blackboard in your mind, right? And then forgiveness comes along according to what we thought forgiveness is, and we take the pen of the chalk and we draw a line through it and say, oh, no, okay, I forgive you. That's a human, I forgive you. See, so it's still on the blackboard.
Mm-hmm.
I went and forgiveness erases it, and the whole blackboard is clean. What takes its place? The will of God. Will, capital W, the unction of the universe, the thing you really want to be doing anyway, flowing in the universe. Why are you trapped at a job? Because you didn't forgive.
Mm.
If you're flowing in the will of God, you'd be abundant. You wouldn't need a job. In heaven, there's no needs. I mean, this is some hard-hitting stuff. These are hard-hitting truths. Are they not?
They're
Isn't that what it's
extremely
saying? In heaven, there are no needs, and when you forgive, you'll be in heaven. There are no needs. I have to tell you something interesting. I was offered a pile of money, and there was nothing in me that said to accept it. And I know this might sound really strange. I promise you, I was trying to think of why I would have that money. I know this sounds pretty crazy. It showed me how far spirit brought me because when I didn't have money, and I did not have, and I'm not saying that I have all the money I desire because I'm not a billionaire yet. I just play a billionaire game because it'll be fun. It's a big game that really is about character. It's not about billions at all. Who cares? Nobody wants to sit on a pile of money. Nobody wants to sit on a pile of money. It's not about money at all. It's a game. And it's a game where it's testing your skill and your wits and you're getting better. It's a game you're playing with yourself. So I'm playing the billionaire game with myself, right? It's one of the greatest spiritual exercises. Money is a great spiritual exercise. I promise you, I was thinking to myself of why I would receive this money. And I tell you, I could not think of a good reason to receive the money. It is the most bizarre thing. Most of the time, if they say, here's some money. Oh, yeah, yeah. I never turn down money. I receive it. Then I go do this and I go do that. I know in my mind what I'm going to do with that pile of money and with that pile of money. And this pile of money is buying more Bitcoin and this pile of money. I'm going to say something very interesting about Bitcoin. I don't feel the need to stockpile a huge amount of Bitcoin. Like, what's that about? Something in my spirit says Bitcoin is to be used. And one of the big things that Spirit showed me I would use Bitcoin for is to put like 50,000 worth of Bitcoin in a Lightning channel and enable the Lightning network and to support the Lightning network by running Bitcoin nodes, of course, and running Lightning nodes and doing transactions back and forth, enabling micro fast, super cheap transactions all over the world to strengthen that grid of super fast, super free, borderless, censorless, nationless transactions, peer to peer, all over the world. Like, that's a worthy endeavor for me.
Yeah.
Just to have a huge pile of Bitcoin, there's nothing in me that sees the reason to do that. Give it to your kids. Okay, they'll spend it. And then what? Well, they won't spend it if I put the time locks on it and I do this and I do that and I lock it up and I lock it up. Is that the purpose of Bitcoin? It's not. A side effect of Bitcoin is that you become wealthier if you hold it. That's not the main purpose. The main purpose was to enable us to be free of these crazy trollmongers and nation states who continue to print money, debase the poorest of the poor among us, and make the richest of us richer and richer. Do you think they're offering someone in a third world country 5 figures? Here, have some cash.
No.
Not at all.
No. It's more a cantillion effect. And I don't want to be a cantillionaire. A cantillionaire is a person that stands right next to the money printer. The closer you are to the money printer, meaning the more successful you are, meaning the more you played according to the game, you get closer to the money printer, you get more of the money. And as it goes through society, people get less and less of the money, and the money becomes more and more and more expensive. Try to get a car if you have bad credit, 20-something% interest. You have less money, you have less access to money, and the money costs you way more.
Right.
And the printing is making the richest of us richer and the poorest of us poorer. Why would we enable that system? I can see using Bitcoin to disable that system and to enable a system of what Spirit told me when it first dropped Bitcoin in my spirit in 2014, November of 2014. And I was in meditation, dropped into my spirit Bali and Bitcoin. And what it told me that what I got from Bitcoin in my spirit was that it was freedom and abundance for all. Freedom and abundance for all. What Bitcoin is. If you don't know what blockchain is, if you don't know what mining is, if you don't know what censorship resistant is, if you don't know what permissionless is, if you don't know what trustless is, if you don't know what any of that is, you don't know what a node is, you wouldn't know a node if it walked up and slapped you in the face. You don't need to. Right? Because
Yeah.
people get, and the people that I see getting bogged down with, well, how does it work? And what is it? Don't fucking have money. I'm like, oh, do you really think you can afford to ask questions? You're not even a millionaire yet. Do you really think you can you can afford to ask questions about what is it when these millionaires are out here in the streets grabbing the bitcoins while y'all try to figure it out? We up here billions. Some of the millionaires have bought billions, billionaires actually have bought billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. While people who need it are still, well, what? I don't get this. Are you financially free yet? No, then you can't afford to wait until you get it. You can't afford to do that. Get it and figure it out. Poor people, you can tell it's not the money, it's their mind.
Mhm.
It's their mind. I used to have the same mind. That's how I can understand it and work with it. I used to have that same mind, and if I'm not careful, I could probably slip back into a petty lack limitation mindset at any given moment.
Yeah.
It's our minds. Peace to all seeking hearts today. The light has come to offer miracles to bless the tired world. Bitcoin has come to offer you miracles.
Mm.
Everyone that studies Bitcoin deeply says the same thing. Bitcoin changes you. Once you become a Bitcoiner, now we're not talking about, oh, I got a little Bitcoin in the wallet. You're not a Bitcoiner. You got a little bit of Bitcoin over there and a little bit of Bitcoin over there and a little bit. When you when you get on the mission, the Bitcoin mission, we're on a mission that our great grandchildren would not be slaves. We're on a mission.
Mm.
And if you're not on the mission, you don't know Bitcoin. You just don't yet. You learn maybe one day. I'm on the mission. And it's time that we got other people on the mission and bring miracles to bless the tired world. Bitcoin is just one example. And the reason people say Bitcoin changes you is because it's deeply spiritual and it's mystical. And who would invent something and then walk away from billions of dollars? Possibly trillions of dollars. Satoshi was probably the first trillionaire on the planet, or could be. There's 800, 900,000 Bitcoin, and that wallet never moved. Who does that? And who walked away from it? And it's sitting right there. No one's been able to crack into it and get it. If it was crackable, wouldn't somebody have already gone and done it? If the CIA could do it, wouldn't they have already gone in the wallet and moved the coins? If they could find the person who could move it, wouldn't they have found them somewhere and tortured them like they did those other people, torture them to get their Bitcoin out of them? You can't take Bitcoin from somebody. You can torture them enough that they just give you their stuff. You can't take it from a person. That alone, we have never had in the history of you, is unconfiscatable. Do you understand that you can't be walking on a road with gold in your pocket and someone come take your gold? They can't do that with Bitcoin. They can't take it from you. Do you understand? I mean, I don't think people understand these concepts.
I mean, I understand that what the system we have now is not working. I understand that. So it's like, let me get myself in position to understand.
Just buy some Bitcoin. Just keep buying Bitcoin. Keep buying Bitcoin. I pay people in Bitcoin. I buy Bitcoin. I use Bitcoin. Bitcoin is my husband. Like I've been telling people, I've been using Bitcoin for years, and I pay my people in Bitcoin. And if I tried to pay my VA in Philippines with fiat, this paper money, do you know how many hoops we would have to jump through and how much that would cost both of us?
Yeah,
You know how horrible it would be?
a lot.
And people do it every day because they're used to the old stinky system, and we're in a new system. I pay her in Bitcoin, she gets it 10 minutes later. Boom. No banks involved. Hello. And she's in the Philippines. Our dear sweet Caneza that many of you know. Okay, family. I'm somewhere. I send Davy Bitcoin from my house. Here, send it to him for Bitcoin because crossing the border from this place to this place, trying to carry fiat across the border, is it more than $10,000? No, I don't have more than $10,000 on me. No way. And how much Bitcoin I have? Who the fuck cares? You don't know, and you're not going to know, and you don't need to know. That's my business. Dollars? Hell no, I wouldn't use those things. No, I don't have more than $10,000. No. Do you have Satoshis? That's what they should be asking at the border. No, I don't have dollars. Do you have Satoshis? Well,
And you wouldn't know if it's stored away properly. There's no way to find out unless I give you my seed phrase.
you don't know. And they have yet they can't even catch up. They're behind the ball and they can't even catch up. So Bitcoin is inevitable. It's inevitable. The question is, what are you going to do? That's the question. It's already here. It's already been happening 13, 14 years. Well, already 13, 14 years, and it works. It works. It works spectacularly. And bad money doesn't. And the only question is, when are you going to find out? When are you going to wake up to it? The light has come to offer miracles to bless the tired world. It will find rest today. For we will offer what we have received. We will offer what we have received. That's why when you forgive, do you notice that? Do we notice, family, that the statements of the course become more real and visceral in your body temple? You can feel the current of the truth. When we say things like truth will correct all errors in my mind, it's saying that I'm forgiving, therefore the truth can offer me a miracle. It will correct the errors. A miracle is a correction, which is an expression of love. Do we remember in the beginning when we went to the miracles, the what do we call it? The miracle principles in the very beginning of the course. Let's go all the way to the very beginning of the course.
Oh, what are miracles?
Yes.
Or
When
meaning
we,
of miracles. Yes.
and then we get to the principles, the 50 principles of miracles. You see, these are the 50 principles of miracles. And when we look at these miracle principles, we understand that miracles happen naturally as expressions of love. And we also find out that miracles are natural, and there is something wrong if a miracle has not occurred.
Yeah.
Miracles are expressions of love. And if you read the 50 miracle principles and you understand how miracles work, because this is a course in miracles, which is a course in correction. Miracles, we think a miracle is.
Oh, we think a miracle is.
Huh?
I won the lottery. I won the lottery. What else?
But I still have my ratchet mind, but that's a miracle.
I got a new car out of
I
nowhere.
think that on our end. Okay, here we go. Cut out for us for a second.
Okay. Got a new car. Got a new car. Your kid miraculously learned their lessons. It's a miracle. A man with a long cloak and a magic staff parts the Red Sea. A man walks on water, defying gravity, and invites another man to do it. You walk on water too, and he does it. A man gives thanks and he multiplies bread to feed 5,000 people. Isn't that what they told us miracles are? Oh, it's a miracle. Well, how come we don't do it now? That was my question. How come we don't still do miracles? Like miracles seem to be amazing. Why don't we still have them? Oh, that was only in the Bible times. Why? Did y'all ever get an answer to that question? Why don't we still have them if they're so great?
Nope.
Because we misunderstood what a miracle is. And when we read the 50 miracle principles, we understand what a miracle is. Meditate on these principles of miracles. There are 50 of them. And that helps us understand what we are looking at and what we are dealing with when we say a course in miracles. Can you believe somebody actually sat down and wrote all of this because they were hearing a voice?
Blows my mind every time.
Every time.
Not someone who's just, oh, I feel like writing a book today. No, here's this download that's happening. Let me be the scribe.
Helen Schuckman was damn near atheist, which is good because she didn't have a bunch of the Christian gunk to get through. Like Christ could not have started talking about this and dictating this to a person who was deep into Christianity because their Christian filter would have just bled onto it. This is still Christianity. This is the true Christ. This is what Christ came and told us. Forgive. Love your neighbor. Love God. Heaven is within you. The kingdom of God is within you. Everything that they say Christ said is in A Course in Miracles. The church is what they told you Christ said. He said this. Well, how come all these churches are saying something different? He said all these things? Yes. Well, how come we're saying something different than them? Where are the right ones? They're wrong.
Oh yeah, the Protestants, the Catholics, all that. All the different denominations.
The more I look, the more I learn about the Bible, the history of Christianity, and all of that, the more the Jehovah's Witnesses are on point with their doctrines. They're still a cult. Don't touch it. It's pretty horrible. I will say one thing. They did do research to know that hell is a lie. That's why they don't teach hell. They did the research and found out when hell was invented. So they're one of the only Christian, they're right on that. Like nothing's all the way right, nothing's all the way wrong. They have some things right because they actually did deep research before they made their religion. And in the research, they found out when hell was invented, and they didn't just keep talking about hell. They also taught about the Trinity and that was invented as well. And they did the research and they taught us when it was invented. It was invented at the Council of Nicaea. Well, it was invented over years, like most things. Some things they were talked about and discussed back and forth with these letters between the bishops for years. And then eventually it got solidified into, this is what we believe. Now let's go burn all the other books and kill all the people that don't get on this. That's how they did it. Right? So the bishops, the church fathers, supposedly, right? I'm not into church fathers. Yeah, that's what people call them, right? Church fathers. St. Augustine and all these people that were purporting hell and all of this. And writing letters to each other. Well, I think it's this, and I think it's this, and I think it's that. You can see them making it up. And you can read these letters online. These are not secret. You can see them over hundreds of years making up from person to person to person. After one person died, they would keep the story going. You can see them make up the Christian story over hundreds of years after Christ passed. And this is a correction. Christ is like, I didn't say that. Here's what I said. And here's what I'm still saying. That's why I have found that the teachings of Christ have moved my life the most. I was the one that works for me. Now, for someone else, the teachings of the Lord Buddha. For someone else, the teachings of Christ are not any different than the teachings of Lord Buddha. They're no different. Read the book, read the teachings of Buddha. You will think you're in the Gospels, right? Yeah. Because the teachings are the same: love, forgiveness, kindness, peace, truth. Yes, oneness, wholeness, forgive. That's it for lesson 345. What say you, Lesters? Wow.
Like what is it? Bugs, something bunny. It's like, that's it, folks. That's all, folks. Like seriously.
Oh, that's Porky Pig.
Oh, Porky. I'm way off. But yeah, that's all. It's just that weight, and we can forgive, just forgive, and knowing what forgiveness really is. It's letting go of the BS story.
They did this to me, and then they did that to me, and then they did that to me. What would happen if you dropped your story? What would happen? What would happen if you saw everyone as God and no one was a perpetrator? What would happen if you stopped seeing villains? What would happen? Just questions. What I do know is you would be in heaven, and what I do know is that heaven has no needs. So therefore, you probably would be out of your lack limitation money story. It's all connected.
All connected.
All right, Lesters. Thank you, Lesters. I've got to say thank you sincerely. You're so appreciated. You're so loved for volunteering and saying, we're going to come with you, Rev. We're going to come with you. And next week, when we're in Sedona, I cannot wait to get to Sedona. You'll see Queen Vashti, if they so choose. I'm not volunteering Queen Vashti. Queen Vashti can speak for herself. She's on the line. She is co-leading the retreat. And you may even see Queen Vashti on the course. I don't know though, because it will be 3 a.m.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll be in Sedona. It'll be 3 a.m. that I'll be waking up to prepare, and it will be 4 a.m. that we will be going live.
Ooh.
And how lovely is that?
It's lovely. Opportunities for miracles.
Miracles are seen in light. Miracles, right? And so I'm so looking forward to, you don't know how much I'm looking forward to being with the witches in Sedona. There is something about being with the witches in Sedona and family. If you have not yet registered for being with the witches in Sedona, you need to run, not walk, run to christianwitches.com/events. And there you will see the winter solstice ritual and retreat. Find out more. I'm going to put this actual registration link in the chat because this gives you all the details. And as you can see, registration closes on 12/12 in 1 day and 15 hours, 44 minutes and 46 minutes. That means bust a move. That's what that means. It means bust a move. And we will be there Monday through Thursday for the winter solstice and the initiation of our new witches who have been in the mystery school for the year. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, when you go to, I'm going to also put in the chat the link to Christian Witches so that when you go there, you will see soon, we're preparing now for the release of the tickets to the Christian Witches Convention, which will be Memorial Day weekend 2023. The Christian Witches Convention in Vegas. Christian Witches Convention! This is going to be the biggest one ever. We're going to have speakers come in. It's going to be the biggest one ever. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be all of that. You know how I love my witches. That's my heart. It's my heart work as a witch and anchoring love on this planet for all people. All people. All right. Love you much, Lesters. Love your family. Have a beautiful day. Peace.